Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another scratchy throat edition of FM Projects. As we are once again with Yanbian FC taking on Nebongu, which is Inner Mongolia, Nebongu. And here we are in Hohhot, and this is the team we're putting out there. We have Hoyu in goal, finally ready to play. Doesn't have that injured thing on anymore. He had some sort of a miraculous recovery because I thought he was going to be out for another week. Fan Xiang over there, our leader, along with Yejiz. We have a lot of leadership here. Torres is the young Juan David Torres back here at center back, and Park Myung-sung is back again, North Korean international. Wade, I believe, is the way to say it. That's how I'm going to say it. And Mr. Kwon Hyokyu. And up front, we have Liu Yue, Song Wen-jie. Hwang Bo-wen gets the start up front, who is very upset that we signed yet another North Korean striker, and Para. He's upset about the same guy he was upset about last week. And as you can hear, my voice is not yet healed. It's still just as bad as it was yesterday. But as you might be able to tell, I'm no longer wearing the subversive North Korea t-shirt. We have something else on here today. And so it goes so much for setting the world on fire, huh? And here we are at a very large stadium here in Hohhot, which is hilarious given what kind of crowd I expect us to see here today. I don't think we're going to see very many supporters at all for the local team that is about to be absolutely crushed by us. We are behind Beijing University on goal difference by 1 goal. So I don't want to hear anybody out there in the comments talking about how it's not realistic and how we must be cheating and something like that, because we're still only in second place. And if they're playing just as well as we are, then, maybe it's not necessarily the tactic or whatever. I mean, maybe we just have a good team and a genius manager. That's what I think is going on. However, the genius manager can't go out on the pitch and get the ball away from Nebongu. Inner Mongolia is doing a very good job of just holding the ball, and holding the ball. Afonso Zhang now, and he tries to get it up, and Torres is more than equal to the task. And we need to get the ball. We need to have some possession here. And it looks like they are still controlling possession, but they are in no mind to do anything with it. And we have a corner here really quickly. Oye now with the corner. Kicks it up and forward. And that goes to Mr. Kwon. Kwon Hyokyu gets his 3rd goal of the season. A very nicely done header. And we love seeing Mr. Kwon dance his little jig and show off to the rest of the world. Look at him on this header. He's got 1, 2 men right, 3 men right in front of him, 2 men right on top of him, and he still gets over them for the header. And we're doing well. So far, Football Manager is holding up. What I saw there on Steam led me to believe that there was some sort of update, and that's always a very scary thing. You don't want to see this game update because, man, if we have an update, we don't know what's going to happen, if it's going to wipe everything out or what. Speaking of which, I need to make sure that I have a backup copy of this save ready to go just in case the worst happens and someone moves it over here to Wade. Wade there to Para, and Luciano Para is always going to score that goal, 4th goal of the season for Para, and you knew that was going to come. You knew that was going to come. Para is too good of a player to be playing at this level, and Inner Mongolia is not having a good game so far. Para is wide open, and nobody in this world is going to stop him from that. We have a pretty good team, don't we? I think that this is an excellent team, and I think that we deserve all of the credit and all of the praise and adulation that we are receiving. Park Myung-sung now over to Torres. Torres holds it back to Park, and Park over to Wade. Wade moves it forward to Song Wen-jie. That's too far, but he's able to keep it in somehow. Back to Wade. That's a little bit of a cohesion problem. Wade needs to know how fast his man really is. Song Wen-jie is a little bit older. There's Song Wen-jie getting it again up to Hwang Bo-wen, who's offside. Let's see if they count this or not. I hope that they do count it because it would be really nice for him. But no, they've marked that as offside. That's clearly offside. You can see it says disallowed goal. And he was offside. I thought he looked like he was a little bit offside, even more offside than it showed there in the replay. But we do hope that Hwang Bo-wen does well. He's a good young player who we want to develop. Song Wen-jie now, and he's beaten by his man. Song Wen-jie is good on that right side, but like I said, he's a little bit older, about 31 years old. And sometimes he's not quite as good when he's playing with these young players. There's Mr. Kwon over to Song Wen-jie, and Song Wen-jie tries to get me to shut up by scoring a quick goal, and that one's not coming back for anything, and it's 3-0. And it's 3-0 here early, and we're only 20 minutes into this match, and this is going to be another one of those, isn't it? Not that I'm complaining. It feels a lot nicer to win matches like this than to lose. Remember, it was just last week, actually. It was just last week that we were losing every match, and we were wondering what was going to happen, and the whole thing was falling apart, and now here we are in another universe, and we're winning everything, and Fan Xiang's throwing the ball in to Liu Yue and to Mr. Kwon. Mr. Kwon now with the ball, and I think he's fouled in the area, but the ref's not going to give that with us up 3-1 or 3-0. Fan Xiang now, and he just sort of pops that over to Para, who is fouled in the area. At the same time that the match momentum sheet comes up to tell us that we are dominating this match. Thank you very much. We didn't need to know that. Mr. Kwon now will score an easy second goal, and he has 2 goals now so far as we lead 4-0, and we're only 25 minutes in. Well, how about that, huh? Kwon Hyuk-kyu came into the team, and turns out that he was a little bit inconsistent. Normally, I wouldn't sign him for that inconsistency, but he's been very consistent at this level. He's a much better player than he should be playing at a higher level, really. We got him because we're paying him money. That we're not paying him as much money as Mr. Lee, who is injured. We're paying him all sorts of crazy money just to sit on the hospital bed. So, let's go find the person who made that decision. Boy, I wonder who that was. And onwards and upwards we go with a corner now here. 36 minutes in. Hwang Bo-won takes it, which means he can't score it. And Torres just barely misses that. If he can get a little bit more on top of that header, boy, that's another thing of beauty. And Hwang Bo-won would be happy to have an assist, be able to give him some sort of stats and make him maybe feel a little bit better. Para is absolutely dispossessed of that ball. Looks silly doing it. He had 2 men on him, and they ran circles around him. Inner Mongolia now passing the ball back and forth, and now they have their man on the wing, and then they go back to the inside, and Wang Jun is behind everybody, but Yeji is able to get back to that, over to Pak, and then back to Torres. Torres over to Para, can't quite get him, and that's poorly played by our defensive midfielder. He needs to play a little bit closer up on that. I didn't get a chance to see who that was. Yeji now gets it, and there's Mr. Kwon. Mr. Kwon grabs control of it, and it's over to Wade. Back to Para. Para's going to score here. You knew that was going to come, and that's the 5th goal of the season for him. That is his 2nd goal of the game. 5-0 Yanbian in this one, and we're pretty good, aren't we? We have a pretty good club, don't we? This is one to be proud of, and I do think that my transfers are pretty good. I think I'm up there with the rest of the great YouTube stars when it comes to transfers in this game. At least in this particular save, I think I'm doing pretty well, huh? But I'll stop boasting here for a second, and we'll see what happens as we move forward. And it's Inner Mongolia with the ball once again. And they're not going to get a shot on goal, are they, if they just sort of lump the ball up like that. Mr. Kwon now has full control. Back to Yejia, over to Fan Xiang. And we're just kicking around for fun now. Fan Xiang can do whatever he wants. Over to Liu Yue now, over to Para. And here's Para is always dangerous. Para is dangerous no matter where he's getting the ball. They're calling that one offside, which is a ridiculous call. He wasn't even close to offside, but we're not going to argue it when we're up 5-0 here early on. Liu Yue now, and that is almost cleared. Back to Pak. The wrong guy, not the guy you want to clear the ball to, and he crosses it to Liu Yue, who's wide open on goal, and the goalie barely able to get to that. Liu Yue goes back to take the corner now. Moves it over there to Song Wen-jie, who I think was fouled, but there's no call coming. And we'll see a little replay of this again. This is a very, very beautiful cross by Park Myung-sung. Park Myung-sung gets it over there, and Liu Yue has nothing but net in front of him, and Chen Wenlong, the goalie, is barely able to get to that one. And boy, don't let them tell you that there's no action here in the Chinese 3rd division. We've had quite a bit so far. The only problem is that we're the only team making it. We have nothing but, we have all of the XG in the game, and it's all from our team, and it's all from our own work. And let's see if we're going to make a change. Hwang Bo-won is looking a little bit complacent. He's playing okay. He can stay in there for a little bit longer. I want to see him score a goal or two. If he really wants to be part of the squad, he needs to start scoring goals. We can't loan him out at this stage because the transfer window is closed. I took a little bit of time to look that up, and unfortunately, there's not really too much that we can do with him. If he's going to be grumpy, he's going to have to be grumpy. We're going to have to play with him, really, and that's really what we should be doing anyway. He's a good young player who we really want to develop. Pak is dispossessed of the ball there, and that's a little bit concerning. He should be playing better than that, and Wang Ye hasn't beat. And thankfully, Ho Yu is more than equal to the task, but that is not what we want to see from that North Korean right back. That is not what we signed him to do, to be completely dispossessed of the ball and then be huffing and puffing trying to play catch-up, as Mr. Kwon has it again. Mr. Kwon over to Hwang Bo-won, who needs to score that. You've got to score that, and that's a ridiculous miss by Hwang Bo-won. He's better than that, and he knows it. We'll see if we'll get him his goal here before the end, and Yeje goes back to get it. This isn't even a close match, is it? I know that, but here comes Hwang Bo-won again, and he scores that goal easily, and he is onside this time. 3rd goal of the season for Hwang Bo-won. And it is 6-0 Yanbian. That's what we wanted to see from him. We really wanted to give him the start here today to try to get his confidence up a little bit. That's what we're worried about. He's feeling a little bit hard done by just because I went and signed another player. And we'll let him know that he'll get some game time. He might not be the starting, striker on this team for every single match, but we have a lot of matches coming up, and we're going to need his help. And we need him to be in a good mood and good spirits, and need him to have good morale, and need him to know that he's wanted and loved on this team, and that he's not just another one of the players. Though, of course, we all know that in truth he kind of is another one of the players. It probably wasn't a great idea for me to go and get that 28-year-old North Korean striker, but hey, it was cheap. Mr. Kwon now. Mr. Kwon over to Hwang Bo-won again to Para, and that is his hat trick. And Luciano Para is an excellent player. Para is an absolutely amazing player for us. What a wonderful find by our scouts this one was. My goodness, this player, I don't know why he's playing at this level, because he should be playing at a different level. I am not certain if I gave him some sort of like international clause or something else to get him to sign for us. But if I did, if he keeps playing at this rate, man, we're going to have to pay out some international bonuses pretty soon, because he looks absolutely amazing. He just does nothing but score goals. That's all that he's done since he's come in. Luciano, he's just scored goals. Scored them for fun. Scored them like they're going out of style. Here's Hwang Bo-won with the corner, and he's looking for Mr. Kwon, who was also hoping to get his hat trick. That's not going to happen today, unfortunately. At least not this early. Wade now goes back to get that. He can go back and get him with the best 7-0 for Yanbian as Yeje moves it over to Mr. Kwon. Mr. Kwon up to Song Wen-jie, and Para is looking for number 4 and number 8 for us on the day, and instead he wins the corner. And, we don't even have to try, do we? Hwang Bo-won now goes out and takes this corner, and that one is pushed out for a throw. And I tell you, it looks so easy for us. Mr. Kwon there is directing traffic over to Song Wen-jie, and you know exactly what's going to happen. All these 4 defenders are trying to get in the passing lane, and they can't. And it's almost like threading the needle. And if you're just very, very slow and careful about it, you can thread it the right way every single time. Here comes Liu Yue now with the free kick, and that one's just a little bit too far away from goal, but Pak is back to clean up the clearance over to Torres. Torres now looking for Liu Yue, can't find him. Scary thing about this is Mr. Kwon gets it is that once we get cohesion in this team, we're going to be unstoppable. Fan Xiang now. Fan Xiang back to Mr. Kwon. Mr. Kwon over to Wade, and he gets his first goal of the season, Paul Wade. And that looked pretty, didn't it? And nobody saw that one coming, and it's 8-0 Yanbian, and we aren't even on 60 minutes yet. We have over a half hour left of this to play. So this is the part of the time in YouTube where everybody turns it off, and when I go back and look at the video analytics, I'll say, yes, they all turned it off here at, what are we at, the 12-minute mark, when we went up 8-0 with the half hour left, and people thought, I'd rather go play Magic the Gathering against my goldfish than watch all of the Inner Mongolia players have poor ratings below 6. We're not even tired yet, and we have players hovering around 9.8, 9.6, having excellent games, having probably the game of their career so far. And do they even have a single XG? I don't know. I think they had one shot on goal. Mr. Kwon now, and he's just playing for fun. He's just trying to get that hat trick. That's what he wants. They have an XG of 0.06. We only have an XG of 3.8 or so, but we've been clinical with our shots, and we're scoring from far away, and we're scoring from up close, and we can get the ball in close. We can do whatever we want. Pak now, and he takes a shot from range. He's done that a couple of times here. We need to figure out a way to tell him to stop doing that, because it doesn't really help our cause. But, I don't worry about it too much when we're up 8-0. You can shoot the ball from the other side of the stadium if you want, for all I care, if we're up that far. Para now, and he's got Hwang Bo-won. Does he see him? And now he takes a shot on his own, and I think he was probably offside there as well. I was kind of hoping to get over to Hwang Bo-won so he could get another goal, but it's all right. Hwang Bo-won now with the free kick to restart it. Can't find his man. Liu Yue now back to Hwang Bo-won. He's got 2 people up there in front in the area, but he takes it himself. Not exactly one of the goals of the season. I have to disagree with the commentator there at the very bottom. I didn't think that was a particularly good effort, but it was kind of good enough. Song Wen-jie now. Song Wen-jie up, and I don't know what happened to Para there. He seemed to just give up on that one. It's okay, we're up 8-0, I have to remind myself, because you want to win every single one of these balls, and here's Hwang Bo-won to score a second of the game, and he misses it somehow off the top crossbar. I think he's a little bit nervous, I guess, but how can you be nervous when we're up 8-0 and you're scoring goals for fun? This one just bounces off the top crossbar, and it's kind of embarrassing how many chances Hwang Bo-won has had so far in this game to score more goals. He should have a hat trick. That's the second one that he's missed, I think, now that has bounced off a crossbar of some sort. And he had one that was taken away for being offside. So here's Para now in another space, and he tries to find Hwang Wenjie, and he misses him. He finds Song Wenjie, I'm sorry, and not Hwang Bo-wen. Yo now with the corner, and we're always threatening, and it goes back to Wade again, and Wade over to Torres, and Torres is looking up, and he's got like 5 people there in the box. Decides instead to pass it to the outside, and then we try to move it around. That's not very well done. You want to kind of see them move it around a little bit more side to side instead of trying to hit it over the box like that, the way that you would in basketball when you try to sort of shuffle it from one side to the next. But it's okay. I'm not going to complain when we're up 8-0. And that is that, and there is the full-time whistle. Well, after that 8th goal came in at the 60-minute mark, there wasn't really too much that happened other than a Inner Mongolia player being injured. So my apologies for the match here at the end that really didn't have too much more to show for you. But I do think that it was fun. It was nice to see Hwang Bo-wen play well. Para with his hat trick gets a perfect 10 rating. Song Wenjie doing well as well. And Mr. Kwon, whose episode this is, played incredibly well. As always, if you enjoyed that, please hit the like button down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know that you're alive. And subscribe so you can see one of these every day. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.